I tried to put these poems in some sort of categories. I'll do my best. The first two is more like outdoors, things that grow, things that I've seen on the beach. The first one is called For Every Season. The summer field was full of yellow, black-eyed Susans, pink clover, nettles hiding under green pointed leaves. Bees loved the field as we did. We walked through brambles that pulled and tore brown ankles. We chose flowers to pick and dry and tie upside down on the torch lamp in the hall. Daisies, Queen Anne's lace, devil's paintbrush. They lost color and turned to fragile straw. Flowers for the Chinese jar were a vertical contrast to the fat red peonies scattered in small circles on gold porcelain. The rain in autumn turned the leaves to mulch, filled the field with mud. Slugs crawled in the woodpile, and you left me here, drying with the flowers. Made sense to anyone who's been dumped. Beachcomber. I saw this woman on the beach in West Palm. Beachcomber. I'm going to time myself. The empty beach is hers to loot. Air is gray suede, and rain pokes holes in sand turned to cement. Her curved back ratchets down as knobbed fingers grasp gritty sand-crusted conch shards. Broken shells, pink, mottled brown and white, fill her plastic bag. Rain tangles her hair, soaks the mildew-stained collar of her coat. Gulls rage overhead, lay claim with screams to rotten orange peels. Terns leave hieroglyphic footprints, skitter in and out of the hissing spray. My next section is a lot about Brooklyn, which is where I'm from and grew up. I still feel like I'm from Brooklyn. This is about a friend of mine who was drafted, never got to the war. This is what happened. Headline: Brooklyn boy drowns on maneuvers. Story on page 12. The river pulls away the banks in grass-bound clumps that sink thickly, oozing, fading bubbles. The army pulled you in. Because there was no war in sight, none of us who reveled at your party worried. The army sanitized, processed glinting eyes, eager smiles, shaved the satin of your hair. Warm hands that knew my breasts grew calloused. The army used your hands to use their arms. You played at hate. Sand-filled enemies fell at your feet. You chased pretend guerrillas leaping over rocks and gullies. You became the ultimate weapon, racing to victory across the river. The river bears sapling roots, pale leaves fall. The river pulls them to the sea. Brooklyn Beach. Sand suitable for firewalkers, patchworked in Terry slogans. Life's a beach, hang 10. Empty condoms, polka dot spaces between diet cola cans. Gulls squawk for garbage. Toddlers pee. Boomboxes blare. Bodies in assorted shapes, bared and basted, sizzle, bake, fry. Go home on the L, crotches filled with Coney Island. Still Brooklyn. Class reunion. Memories don't change exactly. Like clouds, they rise and fall with Mercury, smearing truth, lies, wishes, until the past deforms into a semi-liquid. I remember girls in bras so pointed they could poke out eyes, ass-hugger skirts equipped with slits, lips that swelled in really red, fire red, hot cherry pie. I recall the dissidents, faces filled with fervor. Their only paint was on the signs, shouting slogan of the month, "Stop the war, don't buy grapes." I trace the haze of memory, rising, falling, looking for the sign to tell me who I was. And where is Bob Dylan now that I need him? This is more family poems. The Good Daughter. Jews, when they visit a cemetery, will put a stone on the tombstone as a sign that they were there. The Good Daughter. There are no pebbles, small symbols in abstract designs saying someone cared, stood here, wept. Grass whispers messages in my mother's voice. Why don't you come? The stone keeps her in her place. I cannot face the granite with her name in Hebrew letters. I cannot stand there, weep, place pebbles on her chiseled stone. I cannot be the good daughter. This poem was the first poem I ever read anywhere in this group. It won something when we had that other contest. And it was in March, which is when my mother died, and I was called to stand up and read this poem in front of, we were having, remember we used to have a dinner at the Bohemian something or so. I came up to read my poem, fell apart. I mean, tears, weeping, sobbing. Anyway, this was the poem, and it is about my mother. Crumbs. The wooden house saves echoes, hiding them in corners, frees them at night. I hear her bare feet step on the floor. She calls my name, the sound almost gone as I hear it. Knitting needles click the hours, candy wrappers wrinkle, sofa cushions sigh, and sounds weave into music from her favorite TV soap, drifting shroud-like on the face of the black Sony screen. The echoes pull me from bed. My bare feet slap the floor. In the dark, I find the wall switch. One touch will fill the room with light and turn the echoes into settling attic boards, a field mouse on a nightly foray for unswept crumbs. One touch, she will be gone. My hand falls to my side. Back in bed, I shiver under hand-knit Afghans, dream of unswept crumbs. Or family. This is about an old photograph. Candids. The snapshots fill the album, pages flaking into dry shards, old pictures, black, white, sepia, edges eroding, faces dimming. Someone took these pictures, an unseen specter who chose these subjects, freezing scenes of relatives long dead. There's Grandma, proudly holding cookies from the well-built oven behind her. Uncle Frankie, the great tickler, with a writhing toddler on his lap. Aunt Elsie, posing hand on hip in a rayon print lace collar dress. Papa, crumbling matzah into a bowl of coffee, sweet with milk and sugar. Over the fragile pages, memories rise, float, dissipate like dust motes. I wrote this to my daughter. She doesn't really look like me, but people say she does. To my daughter on Mother's Day. Friends say you are like me. If this is true, forgive me. I never meant for you to have my image. I meant you to be strong, willow supple, with roots that claim their own needs, branches that snap back. I meant to give you leaves that grow despite the cold. I meant for you to reach away from me, to break my image and bring life to both of us.
One more.
One more? Thank you. Okay. The title, again, is a headline from a newspaper. City on Earth's 200-year-old graveyard for slaves. They found my bones at last beneath layers of time. Time over time over time. Moldy rags wrapped around my life. A shroud to shield their sun-warmed world from mine. A shroud to shield each new settler who lived and farmed and built over my grave, pressed on my bones until my life, my children's lives, were wiped from slates as black as we were, black as our existence, left to rot, to fertilize and feed the great society. That's it.
Thank you very much.